Get ready, Chicago Bears fans, because today we've got news that could shake the Windy City. In a sea of rumors and speculation, two players who were cornerstones of our team are drawing attention from other squads. Yep, you heard that right. Before the NFL trade deadline ticks down, we might see some unexpected moves. What does this mean for our offensive line and our running game? Stick around till the end to uncover all the details that could change the course of our season. On another note, during this bye week, the battle in the NFC North doesn't stop. The other teams keep pushing forward while we sit at the bottom of the standings. But hold up. This break could be key for the Bears to gear up for what's next. Learning from our rivals' victories might give us a crucial strategic edge. Don't miss out on this, because we're breaking down how we can fight back in the upcoming games and what strategies we need to adopt. Finally, in the world of trades, the Bears are in the spotlight. With a couple of names floating around, the question is it the right time to make a move? The talk about our team's depth and injuries on other rosters might have us acting fast. Stay tuned till the end to find out about the possible moves that could revitalize our roster. Don't forget to subscribe and join the conversation. It's time to make some noise and support our Chicago Bears. Let's get straight to it, Chicago Bears fans. Today, I'm here to talk about some news that has everyone buzzing. Nate Davis and Khalil Herbert are drawing interest from other teams right before the NFL trade deadline. Can you believe it? These guys were starters for us just a year ago, and now they're on the radar of other squads. So I ask you, are we really ready to see Khalil Herbert and Nate Davis leave Chicago? Because according to NFL insider Ian Rappaport, it's very much on the table. As we approach November 5th, the pressure is mounting, and I think the team needs to seriously evaluate its options. Let's start with Nate Davis. At 28 years old, this right guard has 71 games under his belt, but unfortunately, he's been battling injuries. Is he a good blocker? Absolutely. But the reality is he's been a scarce presence on the field. In the game against the Jaguars, we didn't even see him. He was a healthy scratch. Can someone explain to me how a player with his talent ends up sitting on the sidelines? Here's the deal. There are teams looking to bolster their offensive line, and Davis could be a key player for them. It wouldn't be surprising to see the Bears get a call about him. Remember what happened with Chase Claypool last year? Ryan Poles knows how to make moves. Now, let's switch gears and talk about Khalil Herbert. This guy has had his moments. In 2022, he averaged 5.7 yards per carry. That's impressive. But again, injuries have been an issue. Is he a good runner? No doubt about it. But the lack of time on the field in recent seasons has made his value not as high as it could be. When a team struggles with their running backs, I wouldn't be surprised if they call Chicago asking about him. If the Bears can snag a good deal, it could be the move they need to clear up space on the roster. Now I ask you, are we willing to risk Herbert, a player who can still bring a lot to our offense? Because let's be honest, we don't want to just give him away. I'm not saying the Bears should hold on to these players just because of their names, but they also need to consider what our offense would look like without them. What happens if DeAndre Swift or Roscoe Johnson gets hurt? Herbert could be the missing piece we need. It's important to remember that Nate Davis and Khalil Herbert are just two of the 9 players who could be on the trade block. And with all the recent activity in the league, this could turn into a real chess game. I believe we're at a critical point in the season, and every decision counts. It's not just about what we can get, it's also about how we can build a team that can compete. Let's get straight to the point, Chicago Bears fans. In the last few hours, rumors have exploded in the football world, and guess what? The Bears are in the conversation, and not for good reasons. According to Ian Rappaport from NFL Network, both Khalil Herbert and Nate Davis have been mentioned as potential trade targets. So I ask you, is this a sign that the Bears are ready for a rebuild, or are they just evaluating their strategy? Let's talk about Khalil Herbert first. Rappaport mentions that due to the numerous injuries at the running back position across the league, Herbert could be a hot topic. I think this is very telling. Herbert has proven to be an explosive runner, and losing him could be a huge mistake. Who's next in line? Travis Homer, who has spent more time on the injured list than on the field. This makes me question, can the Bears really afford to let go of a player who has shown potential? Absolutely not. Remember what happened last year. The Bears thought they were solid at running back, but injuries forced them to bring in Darren Evans and give him 30 carries. Here we are in a similar situation, and we can't risk being left without depth in the backfield. At the end of the day, Herbert could be crucial if DeAndre Swift or Roscoe Johnson suffer any injuries. Now, moving on to Nate Davis. Surprise? Nope. With Matt Pryor taking his spot and Bill Murray climbing the depth chart, it seems Davis has run out of space on the team. Rappaport points out that a trade could provide the Bears with some capital savings. However, I say this: how valuable is a few $1,000,000 in savings compared to the need to have Davis as a backup? It's a dilemma that needs to be discussed in depth. And don't forget the competition in the running back market. Yes, there are other names in the mix, like Miles Sanders from the Panthers. But it's a chess game. It's not just about bringing in a new piece. It's about making sure you're not letting someone slip away who can actually help the team. Also, Rappaport mentioned players like Quentin Jefferson from Cleveland and Preston Smith from Green Bay, who could be available. Smith, in particular, has been a nightmare for the Bears in the past. But do the Bears really need more depth on the defensive line? If Zach Pickens recovers from his injury, we could be well covered. But if not, then maybe pursuing a pass rusher could be a smart strategy. Now I ask you, what do you think about these trade rumors? Should the Bears consider moving Herbert or Davis? Or are they too valuable to risk losing? Let me know in the comments, because your opinion matters, and I'm here to hear it. Well, Chicago Bears fans, are you ready for a heated discussion about what went down this weekend? Because even though our Bears didn't play, don't think they were just sitting on the couch watching football. Oh no. This weekend left us with plenty of lessons, and I've got something to say. First, let me pose a question. What happens when you realize you're still at the bottom of the NFC North? I think that should worry any fan. Seriously. While the Detroit Lions schooled the Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers celebrated a last-minute victory, we, the Bears, can only watch and learn. Now let me tell you this. The Lions pulled off a spectacular 31-29 win against the Vikings, and that says a lot. Minnesota's defense was overwhelmed, but Detroit's offense, even without their star Aiden Hutchinson, kept rolling. Don't you see what that means for our team? We're facing a monumental challenge in our division, where the combined record of all the teams is 19-6. That's insane. I ask you, do we really believe that defense alone will be enough to compete with these teams? I don't think so. We need an offense that can keep pace with what we've seen in the last 2 games. But listen, those teams we've watched have defenses that can close down the gaps. So it's crucial for the Bears' offense to find its rhythm and fast. Are we ready for that? And let's not forget what happened with Green Bay. With a close win over the Texans, they proved they have what it takes to keep fighting, even against an elite defense. How does that feel, Bears fans? If Green Bay can pull that off, why can't we? Now let's reflect on how the rest of the NFC North has shown us the kind of football we need to play to compete. The whole league is watching and telling us, you need to step it up. It's time to stop watching and start acting. Plus, since we're talking about the upcoming trade deadline, which positions might interest the Bears in the trade market? This is a perfect opportunity for improvement. But will just making a few roster changes be enough? I'm telling you, we need a mindset shift. It's time for this team to rise up and show what they're made of. So Bears fans, I leave you with this question. What would you do if you had to choose between keeping Khalil Herbert or Nate Davis? Are you willing to risk a player like Herbert, who has proven his worth when given the chance, just for a draft return? Your thoughts are incredibly important to us. Also, let's reflect together. Every decision the Bears management makes has the potential to change the course of the season. So Bears fans, what path should they take? Risk for future improvement, or play it safe and keep the roster intact? Let me know what you think in the comments. And here's my final question for you. What changes do you think the team needs to be in the conversation for the division? Is it just a matter of talent, or is there something deeper we need to consider? Share your opinions in the comments. And remember, together, we are stronger. If you're not part of our community yet, I invite you to subscribe and be part of this great family of Bears fans. Every comment and subscription helps our voice grow. And remember, hail to the Bears.